next step, what we want to do is we want to put our clips on to our slider bucket. And what this does, we have a piece welded on the bottom so that our sliders cannot fall out through the bottom. So now by attaching this, this will keep the sliders, when the lift is going down, they can't slide up and come out. So if you ever had to change these, this is, you take the one bolt out and slide them out through the top. And what this takes is a Phillips screw with a washer. And tighten it just like so. And that keeps everything from sliding out. You'll have 2 per post. We'll go around and do that. And there's one back here in the power unit that I need to show you that's a little different than the rest. Now inside the bolt package, you'll see that there is a conduit clip. This conduit clip is going to attach, the bolt will go on the outside of it and through the clip. We've determined that this is our post that the power unit is going to set on because we have our hydraulic port sitting right here, so this is going to be the power unit. So what we do with this conduit clip, it holds this hose up out of the way. Now when we attach our hose here, this conduit clip holds the hose on the slider bucket that goes up and down with the post, so it can never get underneath of it to be pinched. It keeps it completely out of the way. Okay, so once you've got this clip on, now we've tightened up our jam nut to our fitting that comes out. This is our hydraulic hose on the underneath that is already pre-assembled and hooked to your cylinder, so you don't have to mess with that. So the only one you're going to do is put this outside one on with a 3/4 inch wrench, tighten it up to where it's tight, and that'll be your only hose that you hook. And then we'll hook the other end to the power unit in a few minutes. These are your top caps. They go on top of the post that your cables will attach to. One of the top caps have 4 holes in it. They're pre-drilled and threaded for your convenience to be able to attach the power unit bracket to it. You're only going to use 2 of the holes. We put 4 in there so that you can position that bracket in 3 different positions. So you'll use 2 holes doing this direction, this way, or this way. And we'll show you how these go on to the post. But you have a left and a right. And so once you put the power unit one in, you're going to make the rest match it to be the same. We have determined that this is where the power unit is going to set on this post because we have a hydraulic fitting and we have the top cap that has the 4 holes in it. And we're going to insert this as a tube that will insert in on top of the top of the post. You want to make sure that the hole for the cable is going to be lined up with this pulley. So your cable is going to run right up here and into this top hole. So it will go on just like this. Drop it right in. Make sure you keep your fingers away because that will hurt. Okay, on these top caps, there's a right and a left. You have a straight cut, and then you also have an angle cut. Okay, when you insert this in, you have the straight cut here, that's facing to the inside of the lift, and then the angle cut is facing to the back post, to the opposite end of the post. And that's how you have to set each post up so that you get the correct top cap in the right or left post. So once again, we have the straight cut, we have the angle cut. The straight cut's going to be facing on the inside, so I'm going to insert this. Just like so. Have the straight cut on the inside. The angle cut is pointing to the back of the post. And you'll set the others up just like this. Now, for your convenience, we've already routed all the cables into the pulleys and hooked them to the cylinder block so that you don't have to figure out which cable goes to which spot or which pulley. So what we've done is we've got them zip tied together. So we're going to cut the zip ties. And at this point, they've all just kind of fallen out to the corners. This one's going to go this side. This one's going to go over there. They've made it to where it's real easy to understand how they're going to be assembled. Once you've cut the cable ties, strap ties off, Now the cables are dangling down below. You're going to want to thread them through the track. So we'll come up, thread it through this hole. Pull her out, making sure we're still on the pulley on the inside. And then this will go around this pulley, and then it's going to go up to the hole that's in the top cap up above. All right, so same thing with this one. We're going to come up, route it through, and then this cable is going to route right through this offside track. It goes straight through the track, and then we're going to go around the pulley, and then it will go straight up to the top cap in the hole. Coming through the off track, and then it'll go around the pulley. Now you can see that we're not long enough to go up to that top cap. So what we have to do is pull on the cable, which will extend the cylinder out enough to where we have cable length to go up to our top cap. And that's what I'm going to do at this point. So with the cable wrapped around the pulley, what I'm going to do is just give it a pull, and that's pulling out the cylinder. You can hear the air escape from the cylinder as it's going. You just want to get enough to where you get to the top cap. So I go around the pulley, and I see if I've got enough to go up through, which I do. And I just lay them across the pulley like this and let them hang, because once I get the tracks all tightened up, then I'll crawl up onto the lift and put them all onto the top caps, put the cables through the top caps. I want to tighten up all of my bolts that are holding my tracks to the cross rails, and what I need is a 1 1/16 deep socket and a 1 1/16 open end wrench. You put it to the inside, and then you're going to tighten it up. Now we've tightened up all 8 of the bolts that go through the cross rail to secure the track to the cross arms, so there's no movement at all. Now using a ladder, get up on top of the lift. We're going to take the cables and route them through our top caps. You'll notice we have two nuts attached to the cable bolt. Take both of those off. Run your cable up through, and both nuts go on top. One is the first nut, and then you have the jam nut that'll go on top. To start off with, all you want to do is just make it go down to where it's flush with that second nut, so that your cable now is flush right here, and that's how you want to set it to start with before we start doing any adjustments. And we'll do this to all 4 of the cables.